and every violation after that can be fined up to $500. As passengers will be able to use all of their smart devices from gate to gate. And after Nagin's defense attorneys present closing arguments, the federal government will have the chance to get the last word.
Somebody seen something. Tell it.
Another infant child's life was claimed on this same bridge after being gunned down in a drive-by shooting. And she says some sort of signage in an area like this one can prevent that sort of accident from happening again in the future. And the debate pits small farmers against bigger dairy operators who sell the typical grade A pasteurized milk that most consumers buy every day.
Right. There you go. There you go. Right.
But adding other forms of training to your workout regimen can help increase your stamina during your runs. And after hearing a lot of the hype on Facebook and Twitter about whether the burger is good or not good, I got my own and decided to give it a taste test. They've been a part of Eat Fit NOLA for nearly a year and have seen more and more customers coming in asking for the dishes. So whether it's coriander seared tuna or pan-seared Gulf fish, they've taken the steps to make sure it's tasty and healthy. Many ladies who helped put together a lot of the sweet pastries at the Greek Festival is Miss Cornelia. She's actually a speech pathologist who is moonlighting as a bit of a pastry maker today.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about the yogurt cake. It's not going to be hot. All right, I'll take your word for it. This is good. And then out of nowhere, an impromptu party broke out in the middle of Royal Street. Now, aside from software upgrades and futuristic fingerprint technology, you can also opt for the less expensive iPhone 5C. The plastic hard shell comes in a wide range of colors. And although Saints fans are feeling a little bit let down today, in 2 weeks, the boys in black and gold will be back in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome taking on the Buffalo Bills. GM Dale Demp says signing Ashiq was priority number one. As for his next move, he says he'll keep that one closer to the vest. Ticked off the clock, U.S. fans went crazy. A 52-year-old male cyclist was killed yesterday afternoon after being struck and run over by a turning tractor-trailer truck near the intersection of St. Claude and Elysian Fields Avenues in the Marigny yesterday afternoon.
Chills, I was like, oh man. It definitely made me think about biking around New Orleans.
Residents who live in the area and community bicycle advocates like Naomi Dorner, the executive director of the local nonprofit organization Bike Easy, say they have stressed to city and state leaders the dangers for cyclists at that intersection.
When you get to that intersection, first of all, it's very expansive. And if you're going in the westbound direction, such as the bicyclist that was yesterday in the tragic event, and you want to go straight, the bike lane essentially turns into the right turn lane for the vehicles.
She says that design, along with the speed of traffic coming through the area and a bus stop sitting at the same corner, makes it very difficult for a cyclist to manage.
There's just a lot of things happening that kind of come to a head right at that intersection, and then of course it's turning on to a very busy, very wide street.
But some cities with growing bicycle communities have restricted right turns at intersections similar to this one, where the cyclist could potentially get hurt. And she says some sort of signage in an area like this one can prevent that sort of accident from happening again in the future.
We have right turns that are allowed on red, and in cities where you have high pedestrian crossings, a lot of times that right is restricted at lights.
Dorner says she's been in contact with the State Department of Transportation and the New Orleans City Council about the design of the intersection.
I have been in communication with Stacey Head, hopeful that we can encourage the City Council to kind of take a closer look at how this is operating and how it's not working.
A memorial has been set up at the intersection's neutral ground to remind drivers to watch out for and share the road with cyclists. A meeting and mass bike ride by cycling advocates is planned for this evening at 6 p.m., starting at Cafe Flora at the corner of Royal Street and Franklin Avenue.
It's really catalyzed a number of folks to take action and to make the request to the city and the state to really do what we can to improve the situation.
7 years after Hurricane Katrina, the Lower Ninth Ward community is still struggling to rebuild with little help. There's little or no access to basic needs for families without transportation. Grocery stores have become non-existent, and gas stations are the only places within walking distance where residents can shop. If you take a walk around the neighborhood, there are patches of homes that are rebuilt, but many blighted properties or vacant lots surround those homes. But in the midst of all this, there's something special happening. There are nonprofit organizations like All Souls Church and Community Center that are entrenched in the Lower Ninth Ward and are dedicated to helping uplift the neighborhood.
Spelled A-L-P-H-A-B-E-T. That's better.
Pastor Lionel Wright and Director Jackie Yang are helping improve the community by investing much needed time and attention into the area's children.
There are no really after-school programs in the Lower Ninth Ward for the children to engage in.
So, 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, from 3 in the afternoon until 7 o'clock at night, the center opens its doors to more than 80 children from the pre-K level to the 8th grade level that live in and around the Lower Ninth Ward.
So the parents, like, do they appreciate you know, being able to, the church being able to offer that?
That service, yeah, they are. Especially the ones who have to work late or stop at the store and on the bus. It really do. It helps all of them out one way or another.
The center gives them a safe place to let out positive energy in the afternoon through various types of enrichment activities. But it keeps the main focus of the program on completing their homework first.
If they can finish their homework and actually have the routine to go through and do their homework, they will understand the value of education. And education is the #1 thing where we can break the poverty cycle.
To make sure the program reaches as many children as possible, they offer it to residents for free.
We've got to have a new paradigm. And that paradigm has to do with teaching.
To help reinforce what kids are getting in school, the center has a staff of 3 full-time instructors who all have taught on a college level. The others are volunteers, parents, former public school teachers, and college professors.
Come on. Let me just read it.
1849.
Very good.
Elizabeth Thomas, a former English professor at UNO, is part of the full-time staff and says the homework program gives the students a much-needed consistency.
They get their snack at the same time. They begin their homework at the same time. The regular staff provides familiar teachers.
That gives the students a positive but firm support system.
Jackie told you to come find her when you were done?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
They do not get denigrated or accused of wrongdoing. I mean, we have a disciplinary system, but it's meant to be positive in the long run.
The program is exposing children in the lower 9 to things that most haven't been exposed to, like classical music. Reverend Wright and Laura Patterson started the youth orchestra of the Lower Ninth Ward about 2 years ago. It's part of the Harmony Project in New Orleans.
It's great to see them doing something that's maybe a little bit different, but it's still theirs in many ways. We're also broadening their horizons and, exposing them to music from all over the world and all different genres and all different time periods, and that's something that we really emphasize.
They also emphasize healthy eating in the center as well, with help from Second Harvest Food Bank.
So Second Harvest is a grant that we have ongoing been part of for the last 2 years. They provide the meals for the summer camp and also for the tutoring and youth orchestra programs.
The other thing that I think is really important down here is that we encourage people to eat healthy. And that's a part of the nutrition thing that we have to do.
Along with those healthy meals come responsibilities for the children.
The extra above and beyond for them is the fact that, oh, I'm responsible for the Second Harvest food delivery, and that's on me. And that's something that is solely my responsibility. Having them keep up with that every single day, they thrive in that environment.
Having a program like this in an area of the city where it's much needed gives hope to a community trying to break the poverty cycle and redefine itself and its children.
What the kids need to see is that by learning respect, manners, a structure of studying and tutoring, getting your homework done, but also having fun in a way that is not drug-related or violence-related. To have that foundation that we can bring from the community center to these children is vital in breaking that cycle.
Hey,